What's up, black people? It's me again, and I'm making this video for educational, entertainment, and for human awareness only. So, with that, let me get started. Let's get started. Okay, what you're looking at right there, that's a map and a timeline of states and cities of black massacres. You're looking at about 200 to 250 years of black massacres that took place, that massacres took place against black people here in the United States. And I broke it down. I broke it down into a chart. So look at this chart. I broke that down. I broke it down in the chart. That's from 1963 all the way to 2015. That's, and some of these massacres took place a year apart, and some two states, three states at the same time that these massacres took place. Okay, um, you know, and you don't think that this government, is using social programming with fear and terror. With fear and terror, that's how they, you know, uh, enforce that's how they subject you to their social programming. And so, here it is. It's a slavery ended. Slavery ended in 18. What was that, to be exact? In 1865. 2 years prior, before slavery ended, a massacre took place in New York. Then after that, it happens like, it happened like in, 1866, two states at the same time, a year later. In let's say 1868, 2 years later, three states. That's Georgia, Louisiana, and Georgia and Louisiana. Well, two states and a couple of cities in Louisiana. Well, altogether, Louisiana, that state alone, erupted in massacres 5 times. At least 5 times, and these happen like let me give it to you in order. 1863, the first massacre, one state. 1865, I'm saying, that was 2 years later. No, 1865, that's when slavery ended. 1866, 1 year after that, two states erupted in massacres. I'm saying? That's Tennessee and Louisiana. 2 years later, Louisiana again, two cities in Louisiana again, and Georgia this time. Three states at the same time erupted in massacres. That was a massacre. That's three states. Well, two states and about three cities that's going on at the same time. In 1868. Okay, let's go. Let's go to 1873. 5 years later, another state, Louisiana again. A massacre, another massacre. On 1874, 1 year. 1874 to 1875. Two states in 1874. Mississippi, Alabama. We're going to 1887. 1887. 2 years later, one state, Louisiana again, another massacre. 11 years later, in 1898, one state, North Carolina, another massacre. That's 100 years so far of massacres. Now we're going to jump to, 8 years later to 1906, one state, Georgia, another massacre. 1908, 1908, 2 years later, another state, another massacre, and it's go on and on. That picture I showed you, 7 years later, 2 years later, 1 year later, that's from, these massacres just kept going on and on and on. That's terror. That's more than what the Taliban have ever done. That's more than any communist have ever done. United States has waged terror against black people in this country for 250 years. The biggest terror group in the world. But the UN protects this way of life for them. This is why that's why the world didn't really know what was going on over here, because the UN hides all that information. They allow this to keep going, but they're supposed to be, practitioners of world peace. And they're just like the mob. They're the leaders. They're the hidden leaders, the ones that keep it going. So with that, love, peace, and light, black people, stay woke and stay mindful. I'm out.